Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, the football podcast we bring you each and every week. If you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video. We would really appreciate your support. Good show on tonight for us. We have Tom on. How are you, Tom?
Evening, Niall, Mark and Tony.
There you go.
Thanks for letting us back on.
Not a bother. And we have Marky on as always, Monday. Back from a bang from the Pleasure Beach on Blackpool or whatever it is, having the crack over there. And how are you, cuz?
Speechless.
There you go. And also joining us tonight, Tony Brown. Browner, how are we?
How you doing, lads? Thanks for having us on. Fair play.
Good,
all right,
good,
Tom.
Good.
And Mark,
Good.
if we can get him in.
Don't know what's happened to Mark.
Bros.
He's after losing himself.
There
There you go. You
all
back.
all
You
the donkeys
disappeared
and
there. What
everything
happened?
over
to you?
there, you know? Do you know what happened there? Where am I going?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
2
barely
secs,
any
I'm gonna
audio or
go.
anything going on there.
2 secs, because I'll have to go back into the stream.
Connect to your own Wi-Fi, not the neighbours.
Hey. Let's see what is going on there.
Same all right
There
now,
we
right?
go.
You okay now? There
Yeah.
you go.
Can you hear me?
Happy days. Yeah, all good. Right, as always, Marky, take us off with the sponsor for the Monday mashup this season.
Yeah, we had the World Cup trophy there in the Viva last week. Budweiser were doing a sponsor, obviously sponsoring the World Cup. They were doing a launch down the Viva, so they had the World Cup down there last week. So it looked like it went well. I stuck some of the pictures up there today. So if anyone's on the socials to have a little look, and obviously, hey, only if I had your money, Dazza. Only if I had your money. But yeah, so still a few bookings available for December if anyone's anyone looking for trophies for December or anything like that. And of course, we'll talk about some of the events coming up next year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you could, folks, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. And don't forget, while you're here as well, go over to Facebook, Legends 11, and make sure you're giving them a follow as well. So you're kept up to date on all these fantastic matches and events and all this kind of stuff they are putting together. Right, let's get in. We'll start with the two boys. Tony, talk to me. Stay.
Steve Kelly. Yeah, as you know, Steve passed away this year after a tough, long battle with cancer. And he would have been very close to myself and Thomas. We go back, geez, how long did we go back, Tom? 20 plus years more, maybe. To Baddy back and when we played football together a lifetime ago. And yeah, he had a tough battle and we all hoped he'd come through it, but in the end it just didn't happen. And it was sad. And as Tom will tell you more about Stephen and the Borough Legends, but he was responsible for the Borough Legends with John Pender many years ago. And it's just tragic, you know, but we miss him terribly. He was such a great bloke, a great friend, and you always come out a better person when you were in his presence. You know, he was just one of them guys. And we had a Leeds event this year, you know, which went very well. And Stephen, we'd started that, and then Stephen got ill, and Thomas then, as you know, took the baton on then, and then we've stuff organised for next year. Tom will go into that now. We've another game planned for next year, but it's in memory of Stephen as well, even though it's a fundraiser for something else, but we hope people will remember Stephen.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom, before you get into it and give us the details, I want to know, did anyone show up to the Noggin Inn with white socks?
Hundreds.
Good. The representation was good, so.
It was a packed event. It was brilliant. And not a bad word said the whole evening, and it was a tremendous success. It was a joy to behold, and the amount of white socks there that night was unbelievable.
And Hulk Hogan even made a visit.
That's
didn't
right, yeah, in the form of Stephen's son Luke. It was brilliant. Or sorry, Nathan. It was brilliant. It was brilliant, and some of the fancy dress was amazing. A lot of people put a lot of effort in. You know,
yeah,
it was deadly. It was a totally enjoyable evening. for those who got the chance to enjoy it. Some of us didn't. But it was a great night and well supported. We done really well for them, and hopefully now the next one goes off as well, for which we'll touch on now.
Yeah.
Like, it's the Board of Legends are presenting Kelly's Heroes against a Premiership 11, and that will be the 16th of May down in Stradbrook Rugby Club, where Captain Healy League of Ireland team used to play. We'll kick off that day with a meet and greet down the Noggin Inn, then the match, and then we'll have the meal down in the Sally Noggin Inn again. And we're blessed that George is doing everything in his power to help us down the Noggin Inn, and the same down with Blackrock Rugby Club. They're pulling out all the stops for us. So we're basically on now. Anyone who's going to be playing will have had an association with Stephen. You'll either have played with him or would have been coached by him in Joe's or whatever. Stephen would have turned up somewhere to give a coaching session. He'd been known to turn down up at Joe's of Glasgow when he managed them and coached there, so we'll have a few of their ex-players and hopefully a good few of Stephen's players from the schoolboy era from a few years ago. So everyone who's playing will be associated with Stephen. So that's why we've decided to do this one, Kelly's Heroes, presented by the Board of Legends. And all money raised will be going to the Blackrock Hospice, who looked after Stephen towards the end of his life. So it's a way of honouring Stephen, the Stephen Kelly Cup, and it will be everything raised will down to the Blackrock, who really looked after him. And every hospice needs every bit of help they can get because they're such fantastic places.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. We definitely echo that. So, yeah, it'll be a fabulous day, and I'm sure Mark will be there with the trophies, and we'll be there representing as well, and all that kind of good stuff and all, and anything we can do to help. And of course, we'll keep on having you on the podcast, and we'll keep on pushing things along and keep things rolling for you as well. And we'll share all the links and all that kind of stuff. Any confirmations yet on the Premier League side? Any names you want to give us, or anything in the works that may or may not be confirmed? Or
well, look, we had a game this year in Airfield, and we were a great actually Premiership Legends squad, and Colin is trying to add more. So if you look at the team we had in Airfield, and this game will probably echo that squad as well, and be similar to that squad. David James in goal, Ian Hart. We'll probably have Andy Cousins in there. We'll have Yap Stam, Wes Brown, Karl Poborski, Petrov, McAteer, the big yak up front, Kubu, and Jermaine Beckford. And Colin reckons there'll be other players added to the squad. It depends on availability, but that's the type of player we are looking for. And we had the three lads in the team because of Stephen's, love for Leeds United, and with Andy Cousins, Ian Hart, and Jermaine Beckford, we'll try and get them over as well, especially. So it'll be another tough gig. Tom will tell you the work that goes in. I the easy part. Thomas and Anne-Marie, Tom's wife, had most of the work done behind the scenes as regarding the booking the pitch and booking the Noggin Inn, and George has just been unbelievable to us again. I the easy part. I just to try and get Colin to book the players and the hotel and whatever. The Rochestown Lodge Hotel is where the lads will be staying, and Thomas will tell you as well, they've gone above and beyond to help us and to facilitate us in the best way that they can, and their fundraising and everything is unbelievable. So we're expecting another sold out event. These events are good events, they're always brilliant, yourself, Mark, but there's a lot of work involved. I mean, it just consumes our whole life, and because it's personal to me and Thomas and Anne-Marie, you're kind of you're digging in a bit more with it, but we're expecting a lot of people to turn up. We're expecting to be sold out, the Noggin Inn and the meet and greet, so it'll be another great occasion in the borough, and it'll be for a great guy, so we're looking forward to it.
And I'd like to echo from going to some of them and stuff like that. In terms of value for money, folks, you will not get a better day out. In terms of the meet and greet, in terms of the day and the match and everything else, the value for money is insane compared to, you know, what we're experiencing out there in the market for certain meet and greets and stuff like that and all. This is an absolute giveaway. So make sure you try and support it and stuff like that and all. And as you said, in such a great memory, especially so close to the two boys and stuff like that, absolutely fantastic and stuff. And look, I mean, if it goes anything, if it goes a fraction as good as the Leeds one went, I mean, the work that Tom put in was absolutely stellar. Tom, you were, you know, forget about even the work you put in and the shift on the day, but in the months leading up to it and the amount of times we had you on, and I'm sure we were only the tip of the iceberg in terms of updating us and stuff with the work that you were doing and stuff. And even Tony on the day, the work that goes in to make sure that it goes off as smooth as possible and gives everyone the most enjoyable experience you'll find on a day out at a match day and a meet and greet. The players are fantastic from both teams and stuff like that, but especially the Premier League players that come over. They're an absolute joy to be around, and they're great, and they'll sign anything. They'll take any amount of photos. Mark will tell you the story about Jermaine Beckford nearly missing the coach back to the Roaches down that time when we had the game at Bray Wanderers and stuff like that in the Carlisle ground. So you had to.
I think Stephen Weaver had to drive him back, didn't he?
Yeah. So like, that's how much these lads just will not walk away from fans and stuff like that until every single person has an autograph in the picture. It's amazing to see. Yeah, so all I can say is hats off to you guys and the matches that you do and the reason you do them and all that kind of stuff. It's phenomenal. It's practically a vocation, to be honest. So phenomenal work as always. Tony, what else have you? Have you anything else lined up for next year? That and you want to give us an insight into your part from this?
We've another game the week after. Well, this is be confirmed, but they're nearly there, and that's down in we have a game in down in Nace, and then we have a game in Home Farms ground for the Bournemouth Foundation, and then we've another 2 games in the pipeline after that, which are towards the end of the year, but they're nearly there, but they're not confirmed. Just we wanted to get this one off the ground, myself and Thomas. We've been talking about this for ages, and it was just making sure we were getting the right mix and the right time. And the date we had was it the 23rd we had first, Tom, I think, and then
it was the 23rd first.
Was it communion? Yeah, I think it was communions on, and some of the lads had kids or grandkids, whatever. So
yeah,
and there's a few as well that were going on. So we had to change that. And the hotel and George especially facilitated us in changing the dates, which was brilliant because it is communion season, you know. So yeah, it's the first game of the year. In the Legends calendar, but we're expecting it, especially if we get the lads that I wanted. I think it'll just be nuts. It'll be sold out. The game we done in Airfield this year, that was the first kind of Premiership game we've done, and that was just out of this world. You know, well, you were there, Mark. I mean, Sky Sports getting in touch with us. You know, they just couldn't understand how all these players made it to that little pitch in Coolock. Well, if you think that was something, I think this will be better because it's such an emotional attachment to this game.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, so we're expecting to be sold out.
The best part of that, Browner, was going into a porta cabin dressing room and seeing the jerseys with the likes of Hart, Stam, McAteer and all on the back of them, and you're in the middle of a porta cabin like in Airfield. It was mad.
Yeah, and they were brilliant at Airfield. Like the lads out there, Keith, the amount of work they put in for a year to make that happen, it was just unbelievable. And they had so many bumps in the road you would not believe. And I don't know if you know where Airfield's pitch is. It's slap bang in the middle of Coolock in the estate. You know, so it had so many different things going against it, but it was just phenomenal on the day. And
brilliant day,
I'm expecting our game to probably outdo that game, if I'm being honest.
Wow.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Just touching back there now, when you said how long do we know stay? Well, Amaray, my wife, grew up with his wife Kathy from the age of 4. That's how far they go back.
Didn't know that.
We met stay at Ballybrack in 1991. That's when we all joined up together. When Steve came to Ballybrack with us, we were there from 1990. Steve came back from England in 91, and I finished up at Ballybrack in 95 the year we won the league. Division Intermediate 1B. So we were together, but we've always been friends ever since. You know, it was just such a nice guy. Always had fun. He actually should have been on stage and doing it. He put Jimmy Carr to shame. You know, he was that funny. His one-liners. It cut people down with the one-liners in such a nice way. Like, if I don't know if any of you remember Mick O'Brien, the mad goalkeeper that played at Lone County.
Yeah.
He used to manage Black Diamonds, and he was slagging Stephen one day out in Brickfields, and Stephen just cut him down with a one-liner. It was unbelievable. I can't remember what it was, but I never heard Mick O'Brien go quiet. Yeah, it was brilliant, you know. But it was just so funny, and as somebody said before, Steve, I always said Steve was like Marmite. You either loved him or you hated him, you know, because he was that good of a person. And a lot of people said, well, everybody loves Steve. And I said, well, I could get you 200 outside rights or right sided midfielders who hated him because he played on the left hand side. He would be just in their ear all day, and he was just infectious, you know. The only word I can use, infectious, because he just had that on him. And then when he went coaching, people loved him. You know, I actually never thought he'd be a good coach, but my God, they loved him because the way he was able to talk to the kids and talk to adults as they were involved in the football. It was unreal. He was actually the Borders version of what's your man, Roddy Collins. But
slightly madder than Roddy Collins.
A much funnier person than Roddy Collins. You know,
that's mad.
It was football was entertainment to him.
Yeah.
And on underneath the numbers on the back of the jerseys, we'll have to keep rocking the free world printed on the back of the jersey.
Yeah. Oh, well, that would be on all the posters, everything. You know, keep on rocking the free world, because that was his mantle. Like, you know, he is deadly, and he had such a wide choice of, what would you call it, a wide variety of passions that he had between music and comedy and films. He was mad, and quiz. He loved quizzes. You know, he was deadly. He was one in a million. You know, so we're gonna push the boat out in his memory and get it. Hopefully, raise over 30 grand for the Black Rock Hospice.
That'd be phenomenal. That'd be phenomenal. Yeah,
it'd be a lot of work, but it'd be a work of, you know, it's personal.
Yeah, so rewarding, so rewarding, like, you know. And yeah, absolutely fun. He sounds like a guy who was able to take all his passions and blend them all together, and that sounds great as well when you can do that as well. So he sounds like a guy who really enjoyed life and stuff, you know.
I did.
He did. Yeah, he did, and we enjoyed knowing him, because it was never a dull moment with him.
Yeah,
never a dull moment. Like he's one of them like that. He'll never be forgotten. You'll never be forgotten. Like, and we're gonna do our best to keep his memory alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I said, folks, keep an eye out for it and stuff like that. When these things get confirmed, and when are you expecting tickets? When will tickets go on sale and all that kind of stuff?
They're on Eventbrite at the minute.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I'll put all the links down in the description and stuff like that. Then I'll get them later.
Yeah,
brilliant. So that's fantastic. So, folks, book it into the calendar for next year. Always a fantastic day out. As I said, you got the trophies, you got all the talent in the world, you got the local lads, you got everything. You got the two boys on here, absolutely soldiers doing stellar work around Legends 11 and these games in memory of people and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you support as much as you can, and we'll be there on the day and stuff like that as well to give as much support as we can. As always.
A former Joey's player retired today. Did you see that, lads?
Yeah, Alan George. Yeah,
Georgia.
Unfortunately for poor Al, injuries.
Yeah,
you know, what a player.
Yeah,
what a player.
Unbelievable.
The Messi, they called him Messi. They did. You know, Mick McCarthy, when he played for them, for Ireland, idolised him. It's an awful pity that injuries cut him from. Cut down his career an awful lot. Stopped him from going to the 2016 Euros. And then
Yeah.
when McCarthy he broke his wrist or something in one of the matches that he went on against Denmark when he laid on the goal over in Copenhagen. What a player.
Copenhagen, yeah.
And I have to say, he's from a lovely family because Dermot, his father,
Yeah.
Terry on the pitch, but a gentleman off the pitch.
Yeah.
You know.
Good player too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we wish him well in his retirement or whatever he goes on to do anyway, because I know the transition can often be a tough period and stuff like that. And also,
I think he's still involved. His son is in the Ipswich Town Academy, so he'll be probably helping him out and going to all them games and staying involved somehow. Like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crossed. You know, a great ambassador for the borough he was over in England all them years.
Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Right, lads, pleasure having you on as always. We will chat to you again real soon. We'll get you on each month and keep us updated on stuff. And as names get confirmed and all this kind of stuff, we'll get you on and stuff like that and all. And we'll keep on sharing the links to the tickets and everything else that's going on.
We just can't wait for Browner to announce the Nolan sisters are going to be playing in the Noggin Inn that night then after.
And the halftime entertainment. Is it like the Super Bowl?
It'd be too emotional, but it can't happen.
Yeah. The Nolan sisters and a Michael Jackson hologram, the whole shit.
No.
If you book any more matches, you'll have to set up a league at this stage.
Yeah. Round robin, yeah. No.
Yeah. Well, listen, Tony, Tom, pleasure having you on as always.
All right.
Take
care, fellas. Thank you.
Have a nice evening, lads. Take it easy.
See you, Tom. See you, lads.
Bye.
Yeah, great.
Still 1-1.
Yeah, still 1-1 there. Granit Xhaka with the goal on 46 and then Doi with the goal for Everton on 15.
Took a deflection.
Yeah.
But yeah, like lads, if you're in the chat there, get on to Eventbrite. The tickets are up there and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And share it around as much as you can. It's going to be a great day and stuff, you know.
Absolutely. Right, before we get into the Premier League, we have Hall of Fame inductees, the two this year. Eden Hazard and Gary Neville. And being a Liverpool man here, people would think I'd have a problem with Gary Neville, which I don't at all going into the Hall of Fame. But Eden Hazard, surely there must be a list of players well suited to going in there well before Eden Hazard, no?
I was thinking that I was watching the video of him sitting down getting the messages off Mourinho and stuff like that, and I was thinking even with Neville, like I said this before, I know I'm biased, but Dennis Irwin or someone like that should be in there, like, do you know what I mean, ahead of some of these lads. But I did, Philip. I did until the last day. I think I told Niall there. We were coming back from Blackpool to Manchester, and there was a crash on the motorway. And what would usually take an hour from Manchester to Blackpool took 2.5. So we nearly missed the flight. We did get there, but unfortunately, my 16-year-old daughter Nicole left her phone in Manchester Airport. So I thankfully rang it. One of the lads over there answered from Ryanair. He said, "Listen, I have it here, but if I hand this into Manchester Airport lost and found, it's going to take 7 to 14 days to process, and then it's going to take another while." So on Thursday, just gone, I was on a flight to Manchester Airport at 6:15 in the morning and arrived back in Dublin probably about 20 to 2 or something like that. I was absolutely wrecked, but I got the phone back, so that's the main thing. And we got a cheeky Greg's in as well along for breakfast in Manchester at Terminal 1. Yeah. So, but yeah, so other than that, it was really good. The kids had a great time. We were there for 5 days, but flew in. But yeah, no, it was good. Blackpool were playing away, unfortunately. Yeah, they were playing away to Peterborough, and yeah, so we just won lots of teddies and ate lots of fish and chips, the usual, but it was good crack.
Great holding. Brazy, what's up, my friend? I hope you're ready for tomorrow night. I'm actually doing a watch along for the Real Madrid game tomorrow night. Yeah, because Ben told me he's going out, he has something on, so I'm here on my own, so I said I'll jump on and do a watch along for the crack. Having said that, the last watch along I did, we got thumped up. So let's see.
It's there to be changed. I'll jump in the comments tomorrow evening.
Absolutely,
should be a bit of crack. But yeah, now with the inductees, I was surprised Hazard, to be fair. I thought there was probably a few more that would. Now listen, they're all probably going to get in eventually. I just thought a few people might got in before them.
But you know something, the way they're doing this, are they all going to get in eventually?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like, is Mo Salah going to be 90 by the time he gets in? What happens here? Like, you know what I mean?
He could be. All I know is he'll be in Saudi Arabia at that stage. anyway, counting his money. But yeah, no, I was listen for Gary Neville. I was delighted for him.
He wants to stick
Yeah.
a rock.
Hey, who said that? Where's my sticker
Phil,
up?
Phil
Phil,
wants
yeah.
to stick a rock.
It's in the post, Phil.
Don't start coming at me tonight now with these managers. I'm all good. There's redemption there, hopefully, over the next week between the Aston Villa game and these two games coming up. Like they gave me
Should be a
pelters.
very
See the
good game.
pelters I got on Thursday? They were giving me pelters on Thursday.
Are you serious?
I have a lot of
Oh,
receipts. A certain
Cause
co-host on here has been hammering me on WhatsApp for
serious?
what do you mean serious? It's you. You've
me?
been burying me on WhatsApp with all this slot
Oh,
stuff
with
and
the
all stuff like that.
sorry,
For
yeah,
a whole
sorry.
week. Man United
I thought you were talking about
go
Papa.
ahead of us in the league for a week, and you are giving me pelters. Where are
Do
you
you know
now?
what that was as well?
I never got
Do
a
you know what
comment
that
all
was as
weekend.
well?
I got nothing off you all weekend.
Do you know what that?
Unbelievable.
Because I had time. I was sitting in Manchester Airport in Terminal 1 at the arrivals hall, eating me grapes, going, right, I'm going to send this to Niall
Torturing me.
now. Oh, stop. Do you know what? I
Not one message
didn't
at the
tune in at
weekend.
first.
Not one message.
I
Sean
was
Dyche,
very.
Nottingham Forest. Not one message. They battered you the second half. Not a single
Listen,
message.
I knew that would happen, you know. But
Unbelievable.
it should be. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a decent game now.
Big up,
tomorrow
John.
night,
How are you?
fairness.
Thanks for joining us. Hey, lads,
How are you,
couldn't believe
John?
Hazard was named in the Hall of Fame so early for what was, by comparison to a lot, fairly short stint in the Premier League. But it was put to a public vote, as far as I know. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's just weird when you look at all these legends of the Premier League that aren't in there, and then you see these ones coming in. Hazard, to me, still feels very new. You know, that kind of way. But again, the vote is the vote. But then the vote can be skewed as well, like depending on how many fans you have and your reach globally and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's weird, but you know, you could say Niall is happy over Liverpool winning. Leave him. I am. I'm extremely happy, Phil.
I'm not saying anything,
reaction.
Phil. We can't talk.
You extremely were not respectful the other night at all. You got respectful towards the end. Look at this fraud.
Is that Romy?
That's Romy, yeah. He was giving me pelters as well. And then when we got into a football conversation, then it was all okay. And look at this lad. This lad was even giving me crap, and this lad normally says nothing. This lad was giving me pelters in the comments as well. Fickle Niall. There we go. There we go. I've all the receipts. I've all the WhatsApp messages.
The Baz have a nice time in Lanzarote.
He did. He had a great time in Lanzarote. Yeah, he had a great time. Yeah, absolutely. Nice food and drink and all that kind of stuff. That's what you want.
Did he get his haircut over there?
He didn't know.
Okay. Well, this Wednesday.
Right. Premier League.
Yes, let's get into it.
Are we going to go through everything, or do we just want to talk about how Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest was absolutely unbelievable the other day? No?
Listen, we'll get to that. We'll start with Brighton and work our way down, you know.
Leeds struggling. Brighton 3-0.
Big time, and like Danny Welbeck, he was on form again, wasn't he? Unbelievable. Like that'd be the biggest surprise in football. Imagine his form has turned around and he gets a call back into the England squad. You know what I mean? Like
that's a push now, in fairness.
I know, yeah.
Don't get too I know you love those seaside towns and all, but don't get too excited.
But like in fairness, because I don't know if you've seen it, the 3-0 scoreline I think flattered Leeds as well. Like it could have been a cricket scoreline, you know. But in fairness, like you look at Leeds, they have good players. I think they were just very unorganized against Brighton. Brighton were catching them on the counter. Watching Brighton, they're so easy to watch. They're young, they're fast. The football they play, they're really impressing me, and it was a great win. But yeah, for Leeds, they have a few games coming up now. I think they've City the week after the next international break, don't they? So it's going to be very tough for them. So the only consolation for them is the likes of obviously Wolves and all are losing as well. So, but yeah, it was an excellent performance by Brighton. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, Burnley 0, Arsenal 2. Very professional performance by Arsenal again.
It was, and again, it could have been a lot more. I think Burnley kind of parked the bus for a while, conceded, thought, right, we're going to have to do something here, and then got caught out and conceded a second. And I think Arteta made a few early changes in the second half then as well, just to kind of, you know, they were already 2-0 up. You're not going. You've got job done. Get out there with as many non-injuries as you can. And I thought Coquerel's played very well. He scored, and I think his pass to Trossard in the lead up to the Declan Rice goal was excellent as well. Great header by Rice as well. But yeah, another good win, and they were playing really good football there at times on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Just strength to strength. But we'll try and all keep the pressure on them anyway. We won't give it up that quick and that easy, you know.
That's it.
Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 0. Where was
win.
this Brentford the week before? Where was this Brentford the week before?
That's it. But no, listen, excellent win for Palace. What a header by Mateta. Like, he's just phenomenal. I don't know how teams the likes of, the Chelseas and the Liverpools and the Cities and all haven't been looking at this lad before, because he's been unbelievable for Palace this season. I think obviously you're a player you're a fan of, Wharton. I believe you could be linked with him possibly for January. He's been excellent for them as well this season. But yeah, great win for Palace. It's listen, I know it's such a tough place to go there, Selhurst Park, and get something. And Brentford had been on a little bit of a roll. Listen, they didn't play badly. It's just Palace were the better team on the day. They did play good football in spells, but a fantastic win for Palace.
For 2 seasons on the Liverpool podcast, I've been asking for Jean-Philippe Mateta to be signed.
Are you serious? No way, man. That's
for 2 seasons of the Shankly sessions now, those summer shows we do. I've kept on talking about Mateta to the point where Liverpool fans were laughing at me the first time when I mentioned him, and they said, "Did you not see him control Kanate and Van Dijk and everything and all? Insane." Fulham 3, Wolves 0. Wolves parting ways with their manager. Talk of Brendan Rodgers might go in and all this kind of stuff. What's your thoughts?
Listen, it wasn't a great performance. Again, I think the scoreline flattered them. Fulham had so many chances. Another fantastic finish by Wilson. What a goal by him. And then the third goal, it sums up their season, doesn't it? When you score an OG like that, it's just a cross in and it hits off you, and nothing's gone for you. But I think for Wolves now, they know they're going to be going down. I think in their head they're going to be fighting not to match Derby's records or do worse than Derby's record. I think that's what will be in their heads now. But listen, Fulham played very, very good. Like I said, Wilson had scored a cracking goal. They're tipping away Fulham. I had them in my last man standing over the weekend, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely, Romy. We'll talk about it when we get to it. Forest 2, Manchester United 2. The penultimate game in the prelims this weekend.
I didn't see anything, cuz go ahead. Well, Spurs and
Chelsea, yeah.
Listen, can I just say one thing? Diogo Dalot, I cannot stand him. Did you see him for the second goal? Ball watching. And he lets him, man. Listen, we started off well. I know it wasn't a corner. It's so hard to tell for a referee if the ball had gone out, because it's so fine. Like we've discussed this before. We go 1-0 up. And then after that, it's a lack of concentration. We've conceded, and then 2 minutes later you concede again. It's schoolboy stuff. And the second goal was very, very scrappy. The ball coming over, like I said, Dallow's not even looking at his player. He gets in. Lemons doesn't have a chance. Your man's 2 yards away, sticks it by him, and then it's a case of trying to get back into the game, which we did. I think on the last kind of 10-15 minutes of it, I think we did deserve the point. We had the opportunity at the end maybe to win it, which was a great goal line clearance for Forest. But listen, we knew obviously Sean Dyche's first game in charge, he always sets up his teams very hard to play against and very hard to break down. Forest, I think, will do very well under him in terms of, obviously with Ange, there was a lot of defeats and stuff like that. He definitely will get results, and as he did against us. But I think overall, I would have been happy taking a point before the game. I know that sounds silly after coming on the back of the Brighton and the Liverpool game, but it's always a tough place to go to, especially against a Sean Dyche team,
Yeah, but I mean, Forest have been woeful this season. I know Dyche goes in there, and obviously
new manager bounce and Dyche and everything, that sort of way.
Do you know that? When you hear that new manager bounce, and then you say Sean Dyche.
I know, but from what I've been reading and what I've been hearing, he's been getting along. He gets along very well with a lot of the players. A lot of the players already there know him. you know, on a personal level and stuff like that, where they probably wouldn't have.
No or no of them.
No of them. Yeah. But yeah, no. Listen, I was happy with the point anyway, and obviously, we've a tricky enough game against Spurs this weekend because it's the 12:30 on a Saturday. Spurs haven't won at home since the opening game of the season, so they'll probably turn into like a bleeding Brazil of 98 or 94, sorry, now against us on Saturday morning.
Well, they
Watch.
were woeful against Chelsea. But what about the
Oh,
United strand? The hair keeps on going. The motley crew
the hair
continues.
keeps going. I think he
Yeah.
probably had his clippers in the hand when Casemiro scored that header, and he thought we would have built on it. But yeah, he goes on now for another while.
A lot of talk in the fan base I seen at the weekend on socials that the way this whole United strand thing has gone, it's putting just a little bit more pressure on the players apparently, and this kind of thing. And you know what I mean? I was having none. I was having none of it as well, but but yeah, interesting. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Chelsea 1. I don't think you'll get an easier game for Chelsea in terms of a London derby. They were in sole control of the game. Spurs so disjointed. Little bit of afters. Thomas Frank, Jed Spence, and Mickey Van de Ven. 2 not happy at all.
Yeah, Van de Ven didn't have a great game at all, didn't he? Not Caicedo, Everton. Sorry, was excellent for that goal to close Van de Ven down. I was only talking to my dad on the phone earlier about it. Like, if you're a defender in that position, just put your foot through it, stick it into Rosette if you have to, if you're under that much pressure. But I think from a Chelsea point of view, it was an excellent performance. It could have been a lot more. It could have been 3 or 4-0, to be fair, with the chances they created. Spurs they just look dreadful. They did. It was a horrible watch, as I think Romy put in the comments there a few minutes ago, was it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was a horrible watch, but listen, very impressed with Chelsea, the way they played, and they kept the ball very well at times. And like I said, they were very unlucky not to add to that one goal. But yeah, I don't know. I've seen the reaction of particularly Spence. He kind of threw his arm up like that, you know. And Thomas
really pushed Thomas Frank away from him, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah. It was. I don't know. I didn't really see the interviews after. I don't know if Thomas Frank addressed it in the interview.
He did. He was asked. He was asked in the post match by 2 journalists, and he kind of glazed over it a little bit. But you could see he was fucking irate over it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
We shall see what happens. You know.
Yeah, he'd probably give the politician answer. But yeah, like I said, we travel there on Saturday morning. I do believe it's going to be a really tough game because, especially after that defeat and what's happened, they just want to concentrate and try to get something against us now on Saturday.
What do you make of Spurs? Do you think with the quality they have in there and what they've brought in with Kudus and Colomwani and Xavi Simons and all? Do you think they should be a little bit more risk adverse? Do you think they try to be too pragmatic, for lack of a better word? I'm a big fan of Thomas Frank and stuff like that, but I know he's quite pragmatic in the way that he plays and the way he sets up. Is that the kind of thing that's what's frustrating maybe the Spurs fans who kind of like it's a real weird conundrum for them because they want sexy football, but they want to win. They don't want to lose, but like, sometimes in these games, especially in the Premier League, you have to be a bit more pragmatic and you have to win games that may not be in a style that's pleasing on the eye, but it gets you the 3 points. And I think there's an adjustment there because obviously they've gone from Ange ball, which was just absolutely insane. But you hear the Spurs fans this weekend going absolutely crazy over stuff like that. And yeah, they didn't play well. But look where Spurs are positioned compared to last year.
Well, no, it is, and it's frustrating because from a fan point of view, they're probably thinking, like you said, new manager coming in, they seen what he done with Brentford. You know, no disrespect with Brentford, they probably have 2 or 3 players better in different positions than Brentford had at the time. But I think there is stuff happening off the pitch at Spurs behind the scenes from the very top to Thomas Frank. There's going to be a lot of changes there. There has been changes and stuff. I don't know if it's affecting the structure you know, it within the team and around the team. So it's hard to tell. But they listen, like you said, Kudus and stuff. He's been excellent since he came in from West Ham. They do have the players there. It's about getting them to gel, and I think they
seems to be a lot of responsibility on Kudus now. They're relying on him now, you know what I mean?
There is, and like you know, as a signing like that, obviously you're gonna take some of the load of pressure, but you don't want to take it fully. You know, so it's tough. I think at the back, Van de Ven, I think they've made a few errors. Like the likes of Porro and Van de Ven were unplayable last season. They've shown a few of their vulnerabilities this season. I have to say,
played well the week before as well. Mickey Van de Ven scored a couple of goals and all, didn't he?
He scored against West Ham, yeah.
So.
But he has shown in I think it was the Wolves game. Was it the Wolves game they drew in at home? I think he made a few mistakes there as well, and yeah, it hasn't clicked yet. But listen, they are a team that, like I said, this weekend going up against them, I am going to be very worried because particularly, like I said, the form hasn't been great, particularly at home, and there's always a turning point. There's always somewhere that's going to change, and I'm hoping it's not Saturday.
Yeah, and then we get on to the main event of the evening, as Bruce Buffer would say. Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0.
I'll let you take the floor on this one.
I'll let you take it because I've already done the reaction show, so I don't need to say anymore. I'm extremely happy with the way it went.
Yeah, no, listen, it was a good win. I think listen, the mistake for Martinez was obviously a good finish. Good finish by Salah as well, wasn't it?
Finish.
Yeah, really good finish because like other players might have taken a touch or looked to square
Still plenty to do.
Yeah, I think Ekitike was he in the box when Martinez. But yeah, great finish, and then obviously I think the second goal took a slight deflection, but it looked like it was going on target to trouble Martinez anyway.
We were due a bit of luck.
Yeah, you always need a bit of luck. And listen, it was coming for you. You played some good football. Ekitike's header for offside. Obviously it was offside, but the build up for that goal was very good. I think what I was going to say. What do you think of the whole Kirkhouse thing? And Andy, would you bring him back into the team and give him an opportunity?
No,
he's only 31. Or would you?
I'll tell you what the issue is. The issue is we've bought two wing backs that we're trying to play as fullbacks. And that's where the problem lies. And I did a lineup for that match against Aston Villa, and obviously it didn't look like slots, but I had Robbo, Virgil, and Kanate in a back three with obviously not Frimpong, with Bradley and with Kerkez pushed up further into the midfield as wing backs.
Yeah.
And I thought having the three boys at the back would give us that bit of protection, plus Gravenberch in the middle as well, playing more like the six that we had been missing for a few matches of that. And I thought that would work as well. But I think there's a lot of pressure on as well. He's moved from Bournemouth, to Liverpool, carries a lot of weight of expectation. All the soundings all summer where this is an unbelievable squad. We're going to just go out and hammer teams 9-0. We're going to walk away with the league. All the usual bullshit that comes from people who don't know a thing about football. And I think the weight of that and that expectation, and then obviously the settling in hasn't been as easy as it should have been, but obviously the senior players suffering through what happened with Diogo Jota and everything else that went on that they had to face and all. And like, I don't want to keep on going back to the well on certain things and stuff, but it's a reality, you know what I mean? It's not a drum that I'm trying to beat. It's the reality of the situation. But it was nice the other night. What I really liked was I liked that Gravenberch and Salah, they were smiling, and Alisson was out on the pitch greeting them and all after the game. And Stevie went over to Mo. Stevie G went over to Mo, and he was struggling with something and also there was a wholesome feeling about a togetherness there that we hadn't seen much this season. There was up till then there's been a lot of finger pointing and a lot of what's going on and all this kind of stuff and all, so
I was just going to say fair play to the crowd as well, because the fans were singing Slot's name for most of the game as well, to show his support. And I thought it was a nice touch after then. Obviously Arnie and Stevie G shaking hands and having a chat there, and I think he invited him down to the training ground, or he said he wanted to invite him down to the training ground and Stevie couldn't. So it was a nice touch, all right.
Yeah, absolutely. So very, very happy. Much needed 3 points. And look, there's a way to defend your title and stuff like that. And look, if Arsenal go on and win it and they're the better team, so be it, or Man City, whoever it is. But you still want to defend your title as long as you can, Let's not be silly here now. Let's not get totally carried away. We're in
Everton on the attack here.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. There's a minute left of added on time.
He took too many touches. Was that Garner? Was it?
Still 1-1, and there's 2 minutes left of added on time at the moment. So
Sunderland were throwing everything up there. Obviously, Everton nearly caught them on the break there, but Garner, I think it was, maybe took 1 or 2 more touches than he should have.
Yeah, I agree with you, Romy. I think it's the same. I think they need to just take their time bedding in some of this. Do you know what I did like as well? And it reminded me back that when we were in our pomp last season, if you noticed the other night against Villa, if Robbo went, Bradley held, and if Bradley went, Robbo held. So both wings were in tandem with each other. Whereas up till now, you have Kerkez bombing forward, you have Frimpong bombing forward, you have everyone bombing forward, and we're just left wide open. So now we're back in that tangent that worked so well for us last season as well. So the penny has dropped, the reset back to some of what we were doing last season. But let's try and bed in these guys as best we can. But let's do it in a more controlled way,
Looking at Kerkez in the first few games, I don't know if he got this vibe, but it was like he's trying too hard.
Yeah.
Where at Bournemouth, he was more, just natural, free flowing, getting up and down, defending. He just looks like he's just trying that little bit too hard.
Yeah, but it's just there's such a different level of expectation. Like when you walk into Liverpool and you see the trophy cabinet and you see the history and you see the Champions Wall and you see the training facility and everything and all, and no disrespect to Bournemouth, who are a super club.
Yeah, 100%.
What Iraola has done there, phenomenal, and the players they have and everything, so good. But I think it's different gravy when you walk through the Shankly gates.
It is. And listen, you look at the likes of Robbie Keane. He was trying too hard to score a goal for you, where at Spurs it was just natural. He was just doing his own thing. But when it came to it was like just he was trying too hard and it just wasn't happening for him, you know?
Absolutely. Right, let's get into Sunday. One that I really enjoyed. West Ham 3, Newcastle 1.
You couldn't write it, could you? Like, Jesus.
Apparently they want Eddie Howe out. The Geordies I was listening to today. And I was saying that I thought it was all rosy without Isaac.
Well, Tyndall'll take over if he goes.
He certainly would.
Yeah. He would. 100% he would.
He won't be cuddling you on. He won't be cuddling you on the way out. That's for sure.
No. In his head, he's the manager already. Anyway,
full time.
You know what?
Full time 1-1.
Yeah. Do you know what I liked about this yesterday? Because I was delighted for Nuno, because to see him, his expression is happiness. Considering how Forest treated him and stuff like that, I was delighted for him. And not only that, how many, like West Ham, they go 1-0 down, they hit the frame of the goal, and how many times have you seen West Ham feel sorry for themselves and just it could end up 3-4-5-0, but they battled hard and they got back into the game, and it was an excellent win. And I think obviously Souček's goal in the 96th or 97th minute was just the cherry on top of the cake. But I thought they played really good football, defended well when they needed to as well. That's what West Ham have been, very leaky at the back, as we know. But like I said, great for the look at Pittford clapping all the Sunderland fans. Nice touch there.
See the walkout with the kid earlier with the half and half jersey as well.
I didn't. I was getting.
He walked out with his kid, and it was a half and half jersey, half everything. Half
class,
little touch of class there. Not often I speak nicely about that lad.
Do you know what? He's kind of. I've kind of just changed my mind on him slightly this season.
No.
I was like, I said slightly, but he. Johnny Evans is on the.
Romy, I'd say he's struggling. He's struggling. I fear for Ryan, because Ryan's one of the good ones, who comes on. He comes on the chat.
And not only that, we gave him St. Pat's as well, and Pat's didn't do anything this season.
They fell off at the end as well. Yeah, we will be talking about it. Don't worry. But yeah, if you're Ryan, if you're in the chat or you're watching, show up, pal. Give it a bit of chest and show.
We're not here to slag. We're not here to slag. Yeah. You can vent. You can vent to us,
Ryan. We're 100% here to slag, but you're welcome to come along. I got pelters for the last 6 weeks, so I'm here. I'm like Teflon. I'll come back. I don't mind, But yeah, just carry on, Neil. I thought they were talking about Brendan Rodgers. What about
Ange? What about Ange?
Wolves.
Could you imagine that?
Playing a high line. Oh my God. Imagine.
Because is it mad? Isn't it mad if Sunderland had won tonight, they would have went second. Back
Yeah.
to man,
And
mad.
deservedly so.
100%. 100%.
Sunderland till I die, huh? Man City 3, Bournemouth 1. Erling Haaland, my friend. Erling Haaland.
Do you know? Can I just ask though, what were Bournemouth doing trying to play an offside trap against Haaland? It's never going to work.
Do you know something? I don't think that's even what they were playing. I just think he's gone so cagey and sneaky, because what happens is he's now becoming the consummate forward, really, in the way he's doing link-up play and everything now, where he never did that. And I think now, what happens is, I think a lot of people are thinking that he's dropping deep. And when he drops into that deep position, someone picks up the ball and he just swivels around the defender, and the defender doesn't even see him. And
he could have had a hat trick
for
as
a guy of his size, the power and the pace and the way he eats up the pitch, and even the way he goes around and finishes from such acute angles and all now, incredible. And he could have had a hat trick of those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because the keeper pulled off a good save with his leg. Did you think Donnarumma, or the lads in the chat, do you think Donnarumma was fell for the Bournemouth goal?
I don't know. They're looking at that this season, aren't they? They're not affording keepers as much protection as they had previously, and I think that's not a bad thing, because I think I think we're keepers and stuff like that, but I think in the Prem they're so overprotected. They blow up for so much so easy, you know.
See, initially he has hold of his arm, but then he lets go, and that's when Donnarumma comes out to punch him. But I just wanted to see what people thought in the chat, because I was getting indifferent opinions.
Normally I'd side with the goalkeeper, but it's Man City, so I won't be siding with them. Sorry.
I'm looking forward to it. Wait, are you doing a preview on Friday for the game on Sunday?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah. The preview went up today for Real Madrid. It went out at lunchtime today as well.
I must have a look. Was there a certain Trent Alexander?
He might have got a mention or two, all right. Jay might have got a mention or two, all right.
I seen a picture of him and Xavi Alonso obviously laying flowers for outside Anfield. There was it today, I think.
Darren's response was, even though it's lovely, it won't save you from the hate from those fans.
That's true.
Don't try and massage the situation. You're getting pelters tomorrow.
Imagine the bills tomorrow. Holy.
I'll be here. I'll be here for it. Don't forget, folks, we are doing a watch along, so join me. Probably be going live around 7:30 quarter. I think it's an 8 o'clock kickoff, is it? I'd imagine so.
So
I'll be on about 15 minutes before kickoff, and we'll go through teams and all that kind of stuff. So join me for a bit of fun. Either way, I will be here, as I always show up, as I do. Right, what have we got next? Next up, I think we have League of Ireland. We're going to talk about League of Ireland, and we have a lot to talk about. You were away for all this Dundalk madness. Talk to me about Dundalk. John Temple keeping his cards close to his chest to the point where it's agitating the masses. Kieran Kilduff.
He signed his new contract today.
2-year contract.
It's mad, because obviously we heard rumours he'd be going for the Waterford job. Then I heard he was definitely gone. Then I heard I text you, there was a Nuno reverse card pulled on it. Then he was gone again, and then he signed a 2-year deal today, which it's crazy, you know. When
that's a kicker. That's a kicker for the masses, and apparently there's mediation there between the shareholders and John Temple. They're around the table talking, formulating a plan for the season going forward, I'd imagine.
I was texting John earlier. I can't say too much, but yeah, there is stuff happening. So and from a Dundalk point of view, it looks very positive as well from where they want to be. And listen, this whole thing about the license and stuff like that, like I've spoken to John many times, and that's one of the first things he done as an owner. He said he wanted to come in, get a new pitch laid. He wanted the new floodlights and stuff like that. With that, like what he's been doing in the club with, you know, the sensory room for the kids and that can all be done for the pitch and the floodlights and all. That's a massive job. It's massive money, and obviously it only can be done when the season has finished. You can't do that during the season, where you can do other things to the stadium in terms of the stands and stuff like that. So
it's amazing, isn't it amazing what a difference a season makes? Like last season, they were literally going out of business. Dundalk was going to vanish off the face of football as we know it.
Yeah.
And like to
And
turn that around and everything that had to be done, and the job that
see,
Kieran done, and the staff and the youth players and everyone up there associated with Dundalk, and then once promotion was got, and the great
yeah,
ends up in Oriel Park,
yeah.
and the next thing a cohort come out, and
But
they're losing the mind.
and listen, it only takes one or two of those, and the rest follow. Of these
But
supporters
they
groups.
didn't. A lot of people
No, that's
kicked
what I was
back
going
at
to
it.
say.
Yeah.
If you look at it, there was very much so a mixed bag in there. But there was one or two that had asked for answers. John wasn't in the position to give those answers, and they took it personally. And at the time, he said he would talk to them, but it just wasn't the right time to give the answers. And yeah, they took it upon themselves to start this kind of hate campaign against them, and
Vendetta.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, like I said, it didn't work fully because there was such a mixed bag of reactions from within the Dundalk
Well, I
supporters
told
camp.
you everything that was coming through while you were away if you didn't see it. And I
Yeah,
was telling you
yeah,
just
yeah,
how shocked I was that
yeah,
this is like when you think Dundalk now is trying to make that next step with the floodlights and the pitch and
yeah,
whatever else has to be
yeah,
done and investment. And obviously they're going to have to try and build out a squad as well that's fitting for the Premier Division
yeah,
now, not the Division 1. And I was thinking, this is the last thing the club needs.
yeah.
It's like
Oh,
they
100%,
should be all
100%.
humming. They should be all together. They should be all on the same page. They should have trust and all that kind of stuff and all.
Yeah.
You know, it's mad.
Sure. You look at it, John. Not last Tuesday before, they had a fan event where they were celebrating,
Mm.
and unfortunately, John couldn't go to it because of certain people's opinions and
Yeah.
and what they wrote online about him. So I was kind of
Mm.
I felt for him, you know,
Yeah.
as the owner of the club after taking them from the barrels of despair to the winning the league and getting promoted, and then he can't even celebrate with the team. I just thought was
I think, you know what, you
disgraceful.
listen to the narrative online from some fans on social media and you think, you know something, you don't deserve that club. You don't deserve that club that's
Yeah,
a
exactly.
pillar of that community up there, the history of Oriel Park and everything else and all. If that's the way you're going to carry on and the way you know, it's insane. You don't deserve it.
No,
If that type of fan, you don't deserve it. I've said it
uh,
before about even our own fan base at Liverpool and stuff like that. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it with the way you carry on.
100%. And because it would be different if John was like one of the previous owners, one of these Americans who just has money and money. John is from the town. He's even before he invested in the club and took it over, he'd be talking to me about how much he loves the club. He goes to all the home and away games. He's brought his sons to the games and this, that, and the other. You could see how much the club and the town means to him. And that's
how
why for me it's different.
important it is to have a local guy at that level in the club
Yeah,
who wants the
100%.
best for the club instead of spouting a load of garbage about we want these outside investors to come in. Well, how did that go last time?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Look what happened. Like,
it's
so
mad, you know what I mean? And we're on the outside of this, you know what I mean?
yeah,
We're sitting on
exactly.
the outside and stuff like that. But for me, I never thought I'd see that, you know what I mean? I was thinking, of all the teams Dundalk who
Yeah,
just had
I
a
know.
stellar season, like,
Mad week,
you know what I mean?
mad week. But
Meant.
yeah, like I said, I was
Mm.
texting John earlier, so hopefully things will be resolved in the
Yeah.
next week or so.
Big up, Daz.
How are
Hope you're
you,
good.
Dad?
Hope you're good, pal.
And one thing you're not on the outside of is a result on the screen there. A goal by an up and coming Bray Wanderers legend.
What a time to score it as well.
Unbelievable
What a
scenes, man.
time.
Unbelievable. He's had a brilliant season.
Yeah.
Banging in goals. Obviously, was it 3 weeks ago? He scored the 2 goals and then he got sent off.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
a game of different emotions. But
Mm.
yeah, like I'm delighted for yourself and for Bray, obviously, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, delighted as well for Rovers as well. Rovers would have been my original club when I lived in Goatstown and Kilmacud and all that kind of stuff. They were down in Milltown there, not too far away from where my mother grew up. And but obviously delighted for them as well. But obviously Bray is my local club now, and I'd like to give it that support as well. So hats off. So hopefully they can get the job done against Waterford. They were so unlucky last year, remember, against Strada as well. You know, they basically hit the bar, didn't make it. So hopefully this year they can do it. They have a lovely pitch in there now as well. The Astros in and all. And we were there the day of the Leeds charity game and stuff like that, and the place looked great and all. And so
looked unreal. You're not allowed to walk on it unless you have boots.
100%. That was the same. That was the same for our Astro down in Greystown. You had to wear boots when
Was
you
it?
were coaching and everything and all. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You wouldn't get away with runners to be war like. Yeah,
it's mad,
absolute
man.
war. Yeah.
Because I remember going out to look at it, I had my cargos and my t-shirt on, but I had to put my boots on
Yeah.
to go just look at the pitch. Like,
Yeah. What did you make of how it all turned out? Great scenes for Stephen Bradley as well and stuff like that. We know the background of everything that's happened, and even running the marathon there the other week, and then having to fly up to the Brandywell and stuff like that and all. And,
you know what? The scenes on last Sunday. Obviously he was away, and we sat down Sunday night. The Airbnb where we were staying had a pool table at the airport, so we sitting in and had the phone there, and for what the Derry City fans did for Stephen Bradley and his young lad. I don't know. Did you see what happened?
Yeah.
They had a big whip around, and as Stephen got off the helicopter after running the marathon in Dublin on Sunday, they handed him a check from doing a whip around, and then Derry bet them, but I think the result was the furthest thing from Stephen Bradley's mind last week. The last few weeks, the bigger picture is what he's gone through and what his young lads come out of and stuff like that. And the scenes on was it last Thursday? I'm losing track. Wednesday,
I think it was,
Wednesday night. Yeah, last Wednesday night. Sligo. Listen, obviously he made changes. It was a great win for Sligo in the end. He made a lot of changes, but they knew they were going to be champions. They knew they were lifting the trophy after beating Galway 1-0 with a great free kick. But it was. Listen, they made hard work of it in the end. They should have probably won this about a month and a half ago, but they made very hard work out of it and done it in the end. And listen, I always slag. I text George Kelly, he's the Shamrock Rovers photographer. I text him the next day and I said congratulations, and it was thoroughly deserved. You know, they the strongest squad in the league. They've played the better football this season, and you know, I think for the rest, the likes of Pats, ourselves, Bows and stuff, we just have to get to that level where we can consistently compete with the Shamrock Rovers team, you know.
Yeah, and show towards the end of the season that you're more than capable of.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and that's the important thing. But just Rovers, that consistency they showed after that dodgy period at the start of the season for about 4 or 5 games. Once that consistency kicked in and they found their feet, then it was game after game after game, and it just opened up and opened up. And then you know yourself, and Rovers lead for the front. They're like a good Willie Mullins horse in the Breeders' Cup.
Exactly. I was just going to say that it was only 4 games, but the previous 2 seasons, that start was that bad. It went 10, 11, 12 games. And then other teams, like when we did it last season, we were like picking up points going, geez, we could do something here. Now, Rovers last season got on a run towards the back end of the season where we kind of had 10, 13
They ran
games.
out of games. They ran out of games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And even Pats were on a very good run as well, if you remember. Yeah.
They were. Unfortunately, they couldn't take it into this season.
But it shows you the quality that's in there and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That, like, again, we've seen in the last 5, 6 games of the season here that, like, any team on any day can beat any team if they show up and put a shift in. 100%, you know what I mean? Like those were phenomenal scenes.
And just a shout out, and I see Romy put a comment in there as well, but just a shout out to all the fans that went and got all the attendances up this season. It's
at every ground, every team.
I was just going to say that every ground. You look at the likes of Galway, they're selling out. You know, I still call it Terryland Park. You know, the away fans, like you see, there's Shells fans, Rovers fans going up to Derry again, as Romy just put up, going to Derry, going out to Cork on a Friday night after doing a day's work, or you know, whatever it might be. But it's great to see, and fair play to all the fans this season.
And remember, we're in a country where transport ain't necessarily the greatest commodity in this country.
Exactly,
it's not easy to go from Derry to Cork for an away game or vice versa. But they put the shift in. And
what are you saying to Romy? Because what are you thinking here? Obviously, Rovers. Like, if you want to go see the best stadium in the league and a great atmosphere, Rovers.
Yeah, go to Rovers, and I mean any of the Dublin derbies.
I was going to say the derbies are great. You know, Talca Park at a Dublin derby or Dalymount. Like Dalymount, the history of Dalymount Park. You know, Bob Marley done his last ever concert there and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Even down to Richmond or any of them, like they're all
Yeah,
steeped in
exactly.
history. You know what I mean? So like, just
Stay away from the Belfield Bowl. That's all I say.
roll me. What we'll do is, if Bray Wanderers get promoted, we'll go to a Bray game.
Yeah, bring him to a
And
Bray game.
we'll go out for a bit of food and a few beers and stuff like that. And we'll make a night of it and stuff like that. We'll all head out to a Bray game, maybe. You know,
Where's Romy living?
I'm not too sure.
Not in Madrid, anyway, is it?
No, I think, is he in the UK?
Romy, let us know where you're living, buddy.
Yeah, let us know where you're living, but he's due over. So like, if he comes over, we'd bring him and go to a Bray game down at the seaside. We do love those seaside towns, Mark.
We do indeed.
We do. Derry City fans, salt of the earth, absolutely. They love their football. And
Great
again, it's like all these teams, remember, these are all the fabric of their cities and their communities and stuff like that. And all this. There's people up in Derry at the moment that Derry is their world. Yeah. Derry City is their world. We've had Felix Healy on the podcast, to name a few, and stuff like that. And when they talk so passionately about the investment they made in the city and the club and what it meant to them, when Derry were in their pomp at their absolute peak and stuff like that.
Jim McLaughlin as manager, you know, and it was kind of like for Ireland when we qualified for 1990, when Derry were playing in Europe and winning things, there was a buzz around the city. It was like the troubles up there were forgotten. There was just a united buzz around the city and it was because of football, like, you know.
Yeah, well, there you go. Cheap Ryanair flight and come over and we'll do a Bray game one night. Myself and Mark, the whole lot of us, we'll gear up something and we'll go out and we'll hit the Harbour Bar or something like that as well. You get a bit of music and entertainment and all that. You know,
the Martello and everything down there, and yeah.
Ben was there the other night dressed up as Man in Black. He was in the queue.
No way.
Dylan was DJing down there on Thursday, actually, in the queue.
Was he?
Yeah, he was doing a little warm-up set there on Thursday, yeah, as well. He's pursuing this whole DJ gig.
Does he have your decks from the
he doesn't have my decks. John, who used to do the DJing with me back in the day, has all the equipment on the vinyl and stuff like that. Shout out to John Flynn. I haven't seen him.
Bray for the day.
Bray for the day. Phil, you know, you've been out there. You know at the seaside. It's all good.
Devon.
Oh,
barely.
Very nice. Nice.
Good old Devon.
Nice. What did you make of the final seedings down for the European spots? Was it as you thought, or did you?
Yeah, it probably would have been the way I predicted. To be honest with you, I thought Pats would have been thereabouts.
What a job Joey did the last 6 games for Shells as well.
Brilliant.
You looked off it, didn't you? You looked off it till you.
No, he done very well. I was actually talking to Sean Gannon's mum about it and his dad yesterday. Liz saying about they went down to the last, but Joey's done an excellent job there. The players were playing for him. You know, sometimes a character like Duffer leaves the club and, you know, spirits go down and everything. But now Joey obviously was there through that period, but he's put his own stamp on things. He hasn't kind of done what Duffer was doing. He's gone his own way, and it's great to see. And he was always a good coach in his own right anyway, you know.
Yeah, he's a footballing man, and that's what you need.
100%.
That's what you need. So yeah, so long may it continue and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it. We've an FAI Cup coming up as well.
Yeah, on Sunday, Rovers against Cork. It'd be good to see Cork, you know, after what was a terrible season in terms of the league, you know, going and hopefully giving Rovers a competitive game. I'm looking forward to it. I do think Rovers will win it and win the double, but I don't want to see Cork get steamrolled in the final. I hope they really show up on the day and give Rovers a game, and I think they will. But I think Rovers will edge it.
Huge contingent coming up from Cork as well. Great
huge,
support. Considering how bad a season they've had, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. And if any of the lads are around town on Sunday, I won't be going this time, but in St Andrew's School on Pearse Street, as you well know, because there's an old program fair, so they have all the old programs there. They do the retro jerseys and all. It's a Euro win. And it goes, I think, back to the school or something like that. But they do it every year on the day of the cup final. It opens at 10 a.m., obviously up until about 3 p.m., 2:30, 3 p.m., just before kickoff. So me and my uncles went down there before I brought Georgia in and stuff like that. So they do all programs and pictures and
Amazing.
jerseys and all there. So it's great, and and all the money that's raised on the door goes back into the community. So if any of the lads are around town, hit St Andrew's School up on Pierce Street on Sunday. And
remember, folks, that's only 2 stops away from the Aviva.
Exactly.
So if you're on the Dart line or whatever it is, or if you're in town, it's a mere 10-minute walk.
Exactly, 100%.
So it's well worth. You might pick up an absolute gem there or something, you know. It's maybe
Definitely.
a shared memory that you had with your dad or your granddad or something like that, or you never know, you know. So definitely worth it for a good cause and stuff like that. You send me on the detail of that as well, and I'll promote it through the podcast.
Yeah,
great
100%.
cause, especially so close to home as well. My dad's Pierce Street. Bren's in. That's class. Rising will be away next time they do it. Give us a heads up here.
No way. Where's Bren?
Bren is going off to Rome. Yeah, he's
No
off to
way.
Rome. I'm in Rome. It's gonna be shooting some footage from the Colosseum and from the square and stuff like that. Yeah,
No way. Is this the same Colosseum that WrestleMania was in back in the day, man?
But he might be giving us a show from the Colosseum, and he'll be talking about the lineage of Italian within wrestling down through the years. That you'd be surprised.
Santino
Marella to name but one. If I said to you Macho Man, if I said
Macho
to you
Man,
Hulk Hogan,
did he have
Gorilla Monsoon, Bruno Sammartino, Alundra Blaze, to name but a few. So it should be, if he shoots a little video, it should be very, very interesting. We were talking about it today, and I said, "So while you're there, video in the Colosseum and drop the names. This is how we roll on this podcast, isn't it?"
I didn't get to tune into the wrestling podcast last Wednesday because I had to go to bed early to get up to go to the
it's Wednesday,
airport.
8:00, Saturday night's main event. Raw this Wednesday, 8:00.
This Wednesday I'll tune in. Yeah. Did you see Ed for Halloween?
I did. Very, very good. Very, very
class.
Good.
Text me. He
he's on. I think he's on this week.
Like,
I think he's coming on. Yeah,
is he? I'll be tuning in on Wednesday.
About him leaving Spurs for Arsenal. Good watch. Yes, yeah, very, very good. Very good, Romy. Pat Jennings. Wow.
Pat Jennings, what a player, man. What a player. Son was a good keeper as well.
100%. That's it. I was going to talk about Champions League, but there's probably no point, is there, really? Because I'm going to be doing the watch along tomorrow night.
Yeah, no, I'll tune in for the watch along, and the lads in the chat
tune in for the watch along tomorrow night. It'll either go one or two ways. They'll either absolutely one swallow will make a summer if it's a Aston Villa game, or if not, hopefully we'll put on a good showing anyway, and we'll see how it goes. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. But Real Madrid on a tear at the moment as well. Do you know we got a fact today that was sent in to me as well? You know, Spurs have lost more home games at the new White Hart Lane than what Arsenal have in the Emirates. Yeah,
really?
Apparently so.
Oh, when did the Emirates open? 2008 or 9, was it?
They must be coming up. They're coming up to 20 years or something, aren't they?
Yeah, it must be maybe 2007 or something like that, or 2006.
But isn't that crazy to think that?
That's mad, isn't it?
And you know, apparently they've only won 3 home games in 19 or something like that.
Listen, you're putting the mockers on us going there on Saturday now. Watch.
Not at all.
That's what that is. That's what that is.
Pat Jennings became a keeper from Gaelic. That's quality. He did indeed. Yeah. So that's that's how he was so good at catching the ball.
So remember Kevin Moran was playing for Dublin and for Manchester United, and he kept coming back with bruises and knocks and all when he was going back to Dublin.
That was just some Fergie football dudes at him or something, was it?
No. So he'd fly back to Dublin on his days off and play the Gaelic for Dublin, right? And he'd come back with like little knocks and bruises and all. And obviously there's no social media or phones or anything. So one time he went back and Man United sent someone back and followed him and found out he was playing Gaelic in Dublin.
I think during one of the Ireland campaigns back in the 80s, Texaco, if you remember Texaco, the petrol stations.
Texaco, yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah. They used to do the little coins and all. Do you remember?
Give away the signature footballs. So they used to do a white Texaco football. And one of the first ones they did was a autograph signature series Kevin Moran ball. Very sought after.
No way.
And then of course, you had Brendan Grace with the Freya Nipper. They were the Maxwell
Great.
garages, weren't they? I think.
Great.
The Maxwell garages.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
Free and
yeah,
Nipper?
yeah.
Yeah.
Bottler. Do you remember
Yeah.
Bottler? And what's the famous stuff for Kevin?
Don't know. Go on. Tell us.
First ever player to be sent off in an FA Cup final.
Wow. Yeah, we're having a good one, Keith. Hope you're good, my friend. Hope you're good.
How are you, Keith? I look forward to seeing you on the
Watch
screen
along tomorrow
on,
night, Keith. Liverpool, Real Madrid, no hiding.
Keith, you should jump on,
He's
man.
more than welcome to come on if he wanted. Not a problem at
Yeah.
all. Anyone's welcome to come on those watch alongs if they want.
Get Dino on as well. I'd love to see his reaction for Trent a lot.
Dino and watch alongs now would be a huge risk to the channel. Dino's an emotional fan. Dino's an emotional fan now. I don't know whether we might not have live on YouTube after a Dino watch along. Just saying. Just saying.
100%.
There you go. Where's his heart on the sleeve? Love Dino. But yeah, that's it, folks.
Brilliant.
If you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video. This is the Monday Mashup. Don't forget to check out Marky, Hogan Elite Trophy Horror, Facebook and Instagram, and Tony's Legends 11 as well on Facebook to keep up to date with everything that's going on. I will be back tomorrow night for a Liverpool Real Madrid watch along. Wednesday is Pro Wrestling Weekly, and then the lads are going to be sending us a few shows throughout the week to go up as well, shorter content and stuff like that, little review shows and list shows and stuff like that as well. And then hopefully Thursday I'll be able to do a show with Darren, but I am going in for an eye scan. So I'll see. I might not be able to see. So we may or may not have a show on Thursday. We shall see. But if we don't, I might try and get Darren to give us his predictions in a little video and I'll put it up or something like that, you know.
Jesus. Darren joined by his co-host, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. I'll have to put the shades on. It'll be like Roy Orbison or something like that. Yeah, amazing show, lads. Great to see Mark back and everyone in the chat as always. Cheers, Brent. Appreciate it. And Keith, I'll be taking part tomorrow, lads. Hope we get a result. I see a draw. Keep on.
And here's another special fact for you, Brian. Guess where I walked past earlier? The River Bar.
There you go.
There you go.
He mentioned the upper tier and they charge them double. Just saying.
I heard that. I heard. You get a free cap though, don't you? Free upper tier.
They have been known to be getting given out all right, but normally when I'm in a much better mood than where my club is, I don't really give giveaways at the minute. There you go. So I did have a shirt and cap ready for Roll Me though. He never came into me. Never came in.
Oh no, he will next time. Bring it to Bray. Bring it to Bray and
out into the crowd. Bray might appreciate that though.
We'll go watch a match and look for Paddy Morrow. See is he still in the gym out there?
That gym is long gone. That gym is long gone, my friend. Long gone. There you go. Look at the size of our mushes here. What have I gone on? There you go. Don't get too scared, folks. I know Michael Myers and all the rest of it now. I will be looking like Ray Charles, 100%. Big up Phil. Phil was in me the other day. Phil, I hope the sister got on great with the interview as well. Hope she nailed the job, pal. Nice to see you the other day, pal. But yeah, that's it, folks. Until next time, have a safe week. If you're not joining us on the other shows, and if you're not, why aren't you?